Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell, here to talk about something really quite special. I had a couple of other ideas for videos today, but I decided to do something else because this is really a rare opportunity. I don't know if you've heard, but there is a new version of The War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube that was released on streaming a few days ago. I had no plans to watch this movie, much less make a video about it. However, since War of the Worlds released on Thursday, I kept seeing little bits about it pop up on the internet. And after watching a couple of clips that frankly piqued the most morbid elements of my curiosity, I decided to watch it for myself. And what I found was shocking.
They knew exactly where they were going, and they are systematically eliminating resources and our ability to coordinate a response. Here, let me show you.
Now, you know me, you know this channel. I'm not one for hyperbole or exaggeration, but I can comfortably say that this War of the Worlds is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The kind of bad that you only stumble on every year or two. And when you find a movie this bad, you have to talk about it. So this isn't a review, this is an autopsy, and I will be giving away spoilery details about the movie. So if you haven't seen it yet and you want to, while I implore you to rethink that decision, pause this video, then come back and we'll go over this disaster together. Now, if you're not familiar with this version of War of the Worlds, you might be familiar with the book by H.G. Wells, or Orson Welles' famous radio version, or the 2005 movie by Steven Spielberg, or the 1953 film by Paramount, or the two-season 1988 syndicated series, or the three-season 2019 Studio Canal series, or the 2019 three-part BBC miniseries. We're covering well-trodden ground, is what I'm saying. 2025's War of the Worlds, which was a COVID-era movie that was shot a few years ago and sat on the shelf for a while, stars Ice Cube as William Radford, a Homeland Security terrorism analyst who appears to be the only person in charge of securing the homeland during a catastrophic alien attack. The whole movie is told through the screen life format, where events play out on a computer screen. So most of the movie is us watching Ice Cube talk to people on FaceTime, which I'd prefer to see in real life rather than in this movie. As the movie begins, we follow Ice Cube through his morning routine, which includes using government resources to maintain constant video surveillance of his pregnant daughter, including watching her through security cameras, monitoring what she orders for breakfast, hacking into her computer to read her texts, and looking at what she keeps in the fridge.
You haven't had any protein this week.
How do you know?
Let's just say me and your fridge is pretty tight.
You hacked my fridge?
He also hacks into his son's computer and deletes his video games because he wants him to get a real job.
All I see is a kid with a $200,000 education living in my damn house playing dumbass video games. That's what I see.
But he doesn't just do this to his kids. His job is to surveil everyone in Washington, D.C., including warrantless surveillance of everything they say and do. So we're off to a terrifying start already. As he's doing all this other stuff, Cube is also providing intel for a raid on a YouTuber named Disruptor, who's threatening to blow the lid off a top-secret government surveillance program called Goliath. And in doing this raid, Ice Cube is using drone surveillance and remotely hacking into private home security cameras. Ice Cube's level of access to private information in this movie would make Big Brother blush. Not only is Ice Cube given godlike surveillance state powers, he seems like the absolute worst person to have those powers. While he's coordinating a multi-agency strike on a potential threat to national security, he's also hacking his daughter's emails, checking Facebook, and making FaceTime calls to his family. Basically everything but actually focusing on national security. And I can assure you that as the stakes of this movie get higher, he only neglects his work more and more. Things go sideways when hundreds of meteors begin striking the Earth simultaneously. It's an event that Ice Cube might have foreseen had he not ignored the head of NASA, Ava Longoria's calls, so he could yell at his daughter for ordering a muffin for breakfast.
Hey.
A muffin? Really? A muffin?
Out of the crashed meteorites, hundreds of killer alien tripods emerge and begin attacking targets across the globe. It is a terror attack on a scale never before seen, foreign or domestic, so Ice Cube does what we all hope those trusted with the sacred duty of protecting our lives in an emergency would do. He ignores calls from the Director of Homeland Security to make sure that his kids are okay. And look, I get it. Everyone's human. Of course, if you have a family, you want to make sure that they're all right. but he literally stops compiling a threat assessment report for the President of the United States to answer a FaceTime call from his daughter, and then spends a few minutes drafting her a heartfelt email after that. Soon after, he tries to abandon his post so that he can go find her, which would have presumably left the entire US surveillance apparatus unmanned, and is only stopped because he literally can't get out of the building. Luckily, Cube is able to use his godlike powers to hack into a Tesla, which is able to use its fully functioning self-drive capabilities to get his daughter somewhere safe where she can meet up with her boyfriend. Now, the boyfriend's name is Mark, and he's a delivery driver for Amazon.
There's no James at all?
Oh wait, did I mention that this movie is streaming on Amazon Prime Video? Honestly, you'd never even know because the Amazon integration in the film is so subtle. Like how they persuade a homeless man to help them out of a jam.
Give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000.
Or the metaphor they constantly use to describe overreaching government surveillance.
Spying on what's in people's Amazon carts?
Is that what you think I do? You risked all of our lives just to spy on people's Amazon carts.
Come on, Manford.
There's more important things to do than to worry about what's in people's Amazon cart.
Or how they deliver a thumb drive that is critical to the resolution of the movie.
Prime Air. Oh, it's the future of delivery. They've been training us for months.
You know, I think the thing I love the most about Amazon in this movie is just how seamlessly it's interwoven into the story. Oh, and also, the aliens' master plan to subjugate humanity is to capture and exploit personal information that the government has gathered on its citizens, including, apparently, what's in their Amazon carts. Which makes the fact that this is an Amazon movie super hilarious. Because, of course, Amazon would never capture and exploit your personal information, right? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Somehow, despite his lack of focus, Ice Cube is able to compile his threat assessment report and present it to the president, who's conducting this national security meeting while sitting in the Oval Office. Now, I'm no expert, but I can think of two places where the president shouldn't be while killer alien spaceships are attacking. One of them is on the street in front of an alien spaceship, and the other one is sitting in the Oval Office. Did we learn nothing from Independence Day? After gravely assessing the situation, the president decides that it's time that this movie had a title.
I see no other option to initiate this war of the worlds to save us all.
Now, because this is a Screen Life movie, anything outside the room where Ice Cube is sitting has to be shown on a screen, which means that in order for the plot to advance, all news gets reported publicly the instant everything happens. And occasionally they just have to show us exposition while Ice Cube reads dialogue off screen. And when I say reads, I really mean reads, because it sounds like he's presenting a book report to his 5th grade teacher.
My analysis suggests nuclear power facilities are next. Electric grids will follow, leaving us completely helpless.
Because this is a modern take on War of the Worlds, the aliens aren't here to destroy our landmarks and turn humans into food. It turns out that what they're really after, their new food, is our precious, precious data.
These little guys are drawn to data. The more data it consumes, the smarter it gets.
These things eat data.
Exactly.
The tripods make their way to all of the world's data centers and deploy tentacles to drain our data dry. And in this movie's world, data is a finite resource that can be tracked on screen, kind of like a gas tank, as the servers are sucked dry of gigabytes?
Every system has been penetrated and drained of data.
And when the aliens suck out all of the world's military data, humanity is left defenseless. All of our military hardware is useless because you see that they have no data left. And it's not just military hardware that's failing. Everything starts going down, including passenger planes. We see news footage of a plane crashing with a graphic that reads, "Passenger jets falling to their deaths," which makes it sound like we also live in a planes-adjacent universe where aircraft have gained sentience. And worst of all, the global data drain erases everyone's Facebook pages. And in a movie where the world is attacked, the government is crippled, and he believes at various points that both of his children are dead, Ice Cube's biggest emotional reaction in this film is when his Facebook page is gone. But all is not lost. While Facebook's data is gone forever, the aliens overlooked one of the world's best kept secrets when it comes to stored data, Google. Because YouTube is still up and running, and Disruptor, the hacker that Cube was chasing at the beginning of the movie, goes live to tell the world that the government knew that the aliens were coming. It was an inside job. Ice Cube analyzes the live stream's audio, a capability he apparently could have deployed at literally any time, and discovers to his horror that the treasonous hacker that he's after is actually his son.
My own son is hacking the government.
You know, for someone who spends their life watching, you sure do miss a lot.
And the US government were actually the bad guys all along.
Data is food for the superior intelligence that invaded Earth. The government knew this would happen, and they activated Goliath anyway.
Long story short, the government knew about aliens, they knew that the aliens loved data, but NHS Director Coulson decided to build the Goliath surveillance program anyway because it collects so much data it can predict human behavior and give Homeland Security total control over the population.
The government's like mommy and daddy. If we can't track our babies, how can we protect them?
But collecting that much data guaranteed that the aliens would show up to drain it. And now, once the aliens suck down the Goliath data, it is game over for humanity. And with the military out of the picture, the aliens are heading for Goliath next. Now operating as a rogue agent, Ice Cube, his son, and his son's team of elite hackers work to create a computer virus to kill the aliens. In exchange for their help, the hackers ask Ice Cube for total immunity, which he grants them by deleting their government files, even though that's not what immunity is, and he has no authority to grant it. But it turns out, the computer virus doesn't work because the aliens are organic. They're little organic computer bugs that act like data mosquitoes, and the computer virus just makes them angry, causing them to find the hackers and eat their data too.
They're hacking us!
They're eating our data. My data's being drained.
They're gonna find Goliath with it.
Ice Cube tries to warn the government about this by hacking into a Situation Room meeting, which they are conducting on Zoom, but they've already decided what has to be done. Despite the fact that just a few minutes ago, it was critical to the plot that all of the military's data had been drained and all aircraft and equipment were now useless, the military has scrambled 2 B-2 bombers to blow up the Goliath servers, which are below DHS headquarters, the building that Ice Cube is in. I guess those bombers had some spare data stored in the cargo hold? I don't know. The bad thing is that these bombs will also wipe out all of Washington, D.C. It looks like all hope is lost, except as it turns out, Ice Cube's daughter is a scientist, and she's been working on her own program called a cannibal code, which can rewrite DNA and cause cancer cells to attack each other. And with a little rewriting, the cannibal code can get uploaded to the Goliath servers, then get drained by the aliens, who will then be killed when the code attacks their organic parts. The solution was right in front of us the whole time. So they rewrite the cannibal code, and all Ice Cube has to do is put it on a thumb drive and upload it manually, except, whoops.
I don't have a thumb drive.
What do you mean you don't have a thumb drive?
Boy, this is a top secret military installation. They don't let thumb drives in the building.
Their government computers only let you check personal emails and social networks, make unsecured private video calls, and download files from hackers so that you can upload government secrets to YouTube. Luckily, Boyfriend Prime has the solution. Because he's an Amazon delivery driver, he has one of Amazon's new delivery drones.
I fly like a bird. I can soar like an eagle with this thing.
All he has to do is fly a drone with the infected thumb drive into NHS headquarters and down to Ice Cube in the server room. So after Ice Cube places an Amazon order in order to activate the drone, because really, ordering on Amazon is so convenient. One click and you're basically done. Boyfriend Prime heroically flies this true innovation in delivery technology into danger in a last-ditch effort to save the world.
Yeah, baby.
They're coming!
Got it. Good job, Mark.
After fighting off some alien tentacles and quoting ludicrous lyrics at them,
Move, bitch! Get out the way!
Cube uploads the cannibal code in the nick of time, killing the aliens and saving the world. We do think for a while that Ice Cube might be dead, and he makes peace with his kids via a scheduled send email that includes a heartfelt message along with screenshots of all the times he used his position to covertly spy on his children. Not creepy at all. But it turns out he's fine, and instead of taking the government's offer of building a new, probably still unconstitutional, but not quite as illegal security apparatus, he announces that he is joining forces with his hacker son and becoming a government watchdog. A not that anonymous, if you will.
From now on, I'm watching you guys.
The end. Describing this movie is a lot of fun, but watching it is a different experience. I've been officially reviewing movies for almost 10 years, going back to my Screen Junkies days, and I have to say that I can only think of a handful of times where I have seen this much absolute incompetence on display. Even if you grade this movie on the curve of movies made during COVID, even if this had been released in 2021, if it was an oasis for an audience starving for new movies, it's still awful. And I have absolutely no idea why Amazon decided that now was the time to release it. I guess that much corporate cross-promotion is just too hard to pass up. I try to see the good in every movie, but I gotta tell you, this movie sucks. And if you told me that they made it as a prank, it would be more believable than the reality of what this movie is. Every once in a while, it's good to see a movie that's truly awful, that helps you to readjust your barometer for what's good and what's bad. And on that level, and only that level, 2025's The War of the Worlds is a smashing success.
The United States president is calling the global military response a war of the worlds to save humanity.
So that was my experience to 2025's War of the Worlds, a true insult to the very concept of cinema itself. What did you think? Have you seen it? Are you going to check it out despite my warnings? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, stay tuned right here for the latest in movie news, reviews, box office, and more. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.
Amazon
Come on,
carts.
Manfred.